then let's play. Oh ho ho! Okay, okay. Let's play. Let's play this. We're gonna solve all these mysteries. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Turnabout Trump. Interesting. Dead. Someone hit him hard. Me? Please, the cop should be here any minute. I'm in your hands, should it come to that. Ooh. We're sneaky. Coppers. April 20, 420. Alright, we gotta put our thinking hats on. Panicked, palms sweaty. I can admit it, I'm nervous. Ah, good morning. Oh, look at him. Wait, is this our new Mia Fey? Good morning, sir. You look tense, Justice. Wound up tight. Whoa, wound up, sir. No, I'm loose. I'm fine. I'm loose. Oh, that screeching noise. Is that your voice? I suppose it's to be expected. Your first trial and it's a homicide. I guess justice doesn't start small, eh? I'm fine. I got up at 5 a.m. to do my Chords of Steel voice workout. I'm fine. Ah, that explains it. I did detect a certain rasping quality to your speech. I overdid it again. As you know, your client today is a good friend of mine. It's like Larry Butts all over again. I wouldn't want to let him down, if you get my drift. Are we corrupt defense lawyers? Drift gotten, sir. I'm all over that drift. As it happens, I dined with him the night of the murder. Are you gonna be a witness? We can't let this case fall through. Wait, what if he's the murderer? Christoph, you're a little sus now. Yes! Yes! I'm fine, sir! One more thing. Don't say you're fine quite so much. Why? What does that mean? People might take you the wrong way. I'll be preparing our case. You might want to introduce yourself to the client. Oh! What do you mean? We are about to go into trial and we haven't met the client? Oi. Huh? My name is Apollo Justice. If it isn't clear already, I'm a new attorney. And today is my first trial. Bruh. Not that I'm worried or anything. The defendant has been accused of murder. My boss wants to help him out, of course, and so do I. I mean, there's no way he did it. Not him, no way. Oh. It literally is Larry Butts all over again. No. Whoa. Good morning. Morning. It's all up to you today. First trial, nervous. Meeting him, cardiac arrest. Why? Why? Is it because he's wearing a beanie and hasn't shaved? Or is it because he's hot? I think I'm supposed to say something. Help? So, you're... Fine, I'm fine! Bruh. Mr. Fine, is it? Hey, it's the judge! I know that guy. I did remember you having an odd name. Well, we're off to a great start. Are you sure you're okay? I mean, with me? Mr. Gavin is a top-notch defense attorney. And he's your friend, so why? And he's your friend, so what? You'll see. What? You can do it. Be confident. They're in it together. I'm so suspicious of both of them. I'm really sorry this happened to you. I mean, it's time. Shall we? Yes, sir! Okay, I need to focus. First trial. Here comes justice! April 20, 10 a.m., District Court. Courtroom number 2. Hi, oh my gosh, it's Winston Payne! It's a man! The court is now in session. What happened to him? The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is, fine. I mean, ready, Your Honor. Mind going blank. Don't panic. Too late. Your name was Mr. Justice? And this is your first trial? Yes, Your Honor. But I'm fine, really. Are you quite sure? Your voice sounds a bit strained. Mr. Gavin? Yes, Your Honor. I was under the impression that you would be heading up this case. That was my intention, yes. Huh? However, a defense attorney must always cede to his client's wishes. Huh? And my client specifically requested Mr. Justice. Well, of course, he wants justice. But to entrust his case to a greenhorn, why? I do not exaggerate when I say that you're the best defense attorney in town, Mr. Gavin. Okay, so Gavin's got trial experience, fine. But does he have cords of steel? Then let's begin. The defendant may enter the courtroom. Ooh, look at him. This is truly an unfortunate turn of events. I'm sorry we had to meet again under these circumstances. Did I just say Phoenix Wright is hot? Oh god. I do see the little spikies hidden. Oh my gosh. No! Mr. Wright. No wonder he wanted the newbie. Oh my god. Long time no see, Mr. Wright. Oh my god. Let's put the past behind us, shall we? These days, I'm merely Phoenix Wright. Piano player! Piano player! What happened to him? Mr. Wright, how could this have happened? I won't speak of it further, then. If the prosecution would be so kind as to explain the charges, Mr. Payne. To think, I saw you enter this room a fresh attorney, and now I'll see you leave in chains. You know that fresh attorney beat your ass, didn't... Oh my god. Winston Payne is uglier than before. I cannot. Ah, Winston Payne. Subtle as ever, I see. Oh my gosh, that's Phoenix Wright. That's crazy. Ahem. The crime occurred at the Borscht Bowl Club, a Russian restaurant. You wouldn't have guessed by the name Borscht. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, took the victim, a customer, and he hit him! Wham! On the head! Smack! Killed him cold. A customer at the restaurant, you say. And the defendant, you say he was... the pianist for the club, it seems. Phoenix Wright. A pianist? Didn't he just introduce himself as a pianist? Are you dumb? We all know the judge is dumb. We already knew that. Oh my god. This is the weapon that took the victim's life. A bottle of grape juice. Okay. Grape juice is apparently our defendant's drink of choice. The court accepts the deadly bottle as evidence. Deadly bottle added to the court record. What if he was just drinking it? Something to note, Justice. All evidence is filed in the court record. I clicked it. Oh. No clues here. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Oh, he did. Let me see this. Okay. So was he poisoned? No, he said he hit him. Okay. Okay. Shady Smith. April 17th. Okay. Okay, so blunt force trauma for sure. Aww. This will never be evident. I'll click it anyway. Okay. Make a practice of checking it frequently. The court record. Right! I've heard of that! Use E to look at the evidence so far. Oh. Phoenix Wright? Shady? Wait, what if his name is Shady? Because he looks kind of shady. I'm confident in your ability to handle this. Right, just use E. Sounds like it's time for some hands-on action. So, the victim was a customer at this restaurant. But just who was this, Shady Smith fellow? We believe he was a traveler, Your Honor. A traveler? According to his passport, he had been out of the country for a number of years. He had only returned to this country recently, though his place of residence is unclear. And he had some sort of connection with the defendant. That, too, is unclear at present, Your Honor. Bruh, you're a terrible, terrible prosecutor. This only works in Japan. Probably not even in Japan. We believe they first met at the Borscht Bowl Club on the night of the crime. If they had only just met, then why murder? Clearly, they were gambling. Look. Look, see? A picture, right? Poker cards. Let's see. Ace. I don't know, I feel like this hand is the winning hand. So why would he... I don't know. Perhaps the victim slighted the defendant's piano playing. That doesn't appear to have been the case. No, the motive had nothing to do with the defendant's lack of playing skill. You look so smug for some reason. At least not piano playing. I'll let this photo explain what I mean. It's poker. As we can see, a game of poker was in progress at the scene of the crime. But why does it look like this guy's winning? Wait a second! Isn't poker gambling? That's a crime in and of itself! Indeed, it appears our defendant has fallen to become the basest sort of criminal.
Objection!
It is true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim. Yet it was only that, a game in the purest sense, a competition, Your Honor. A competition? Yes, a test of wits, a silent clash of passions. Only the cards, their backs wreathed in blue flame, know its final outcome. Come again? The cards on the table had blue backs, Your Honor. I believe the defense was waxing poetic in an attempt to mystify those present and impress women. That will be our first order of business here, then. Impressing women? To find out more about this fatal game of cards. Okay. Very well, defendant. Speak. You will testify to the court about the poker competition held the night of the crime. I'm going to change the judge's voice because I can't keep up with this old guy voice. The night of the crime. My pleasure. This is it. My first trial. Here goes nothing. Let's go. The competition. I am a pianist by trade, yet I can hardly play at all. Interesting. My real job is to take on interested customers over the poker table. Oh! Oh, because he can read people! The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attractions. I'm sorry, but when you take away Phoenix Wright's like spiky hair, he's kind of hot. And maybe like, I think it's the beard. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. That's all it is. A game. And our customers are happy. Sus. Sus, sus, sus. All it is a game? Okay. I can see that there's probably 2 decks of cards, but I don't believe that it's just a game. Something's off. Okay. A pianist who can't play piano. Better than a defense attorney who can't defend. Bruh, you about to die. Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Right, Your Honor. My first cross-examination. Don't blow it. Are you all right? You're sweating bullets. Bullets? Where? It's a figure of speech. Justice, your voice sounds strained and raspy, too. My brain feels strained and raspy, sir. You've watched me perform cross-examinations many times, though you've never done one yourself, have you? Care for a refresher? What to do? Should I ask Mr. Gavin for a refresher course in cross-examination? Sure, why not? Better safe than sorry, especially this early in the game. He knows it's a game! Yes, teach me. I know nothing. Indeed, your job, Justice, is to be mindful of the court record and the testimony. Look for inconsistencies in the testimony with what the court record tells you. When you found an inconsistency, that's when you present the conflicting evidence from the court record with E! But I didn't hear anything strange at all in the testimony just now. A good sign that you need to press the witness with Q for more information. Press him? Don't let the fact that he's a remarkable man hold you back. Get more information. But isn't Mr. Wright my client? Well, think you can do it? Yes! Thank you, sir! I think I can do it. I think you'd better, or we're going to have a problem. Just remember, find any inconsistencies, any lies in the testimony, and reveal them to the court. That is cross-examination. Learn it, know it, do it. Inconsistencies, lies, Phoenix Wright. As if Phoenix Wright would never lie, and it's up to me to prove it. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Dun, 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 dun. The competition. Alright, are you ready? I'm ready with my cue button. I'm a pianist by trade, yet can hardly play piano at all. I think we should press on this. You can hardly play. Oh, I play sometimes, when customers demand it. So I play them one song. That's usually all they want. Was that supposed to be a boast just now? The title of pianist is a mask, a respectable face I wear for the world at large. Oh my gosh, look at him! Oh! Then why are you really at the Borscht Bowl Club? My real job is to take on interested customers over at the poker table. They pay you just to play poker? That would seem to be the case. I'm a professional after all. Bah! Do I detect pride in that statement? It's just hard for an honest, hardworking member of society like me to imagine. Yes. Your imagination was always a bit limited, Winston. Oh god! Oh, what?! I've played poker for 7 years in that little room, and I've never lost once. What? You see why the customers come now. Defeat the undefeated poker champion. It's quite a draw. That is, I'm quite a draw. Yeah, you are. Wait, you've never lost once? Not even one time? As I said, I'm a professional. He's played poker for 7 years and not lost once? Is that even possible? The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attractions. Let's just keep pressing. The room in the crime scene photo is an attraction? It has quite a history, actually. And the Borscht Bowl Club used to be a gathering spot for black market types back in the day. But black market? All in the past. Things like the black market are only on the silver screen nowadays. Suffice it to say that there were a lot of deals being made under the table. Right there in that room. A spooky room, gambling hoods, you know. Just looking at this picture makes me feel bad. The bosses gather around the table, cutting deals, safe from the eyes of the law. Meanwhile, a goon keeps watch through the small window. What window? Oh, that window. That's a little sus. Goon has access? Okay. I can practically picture it now. That window does look like it would be good for keeping a lookout, but little else. The room had a few other tricks to it, though it was common knowledge to our regulars. At any rate, they come to play poker in a room steeped in history. Despite the dark past, it was all just good, clean fun. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. I am curious, why 2? 2 decks of cards. A simple measure to prevent cheating. If you alternate 2 decks, no one can slip in cards. There's something else I noticed. In addition to the cards on the table, there are some lying scattered on the floor. Precisely. cards on the table, cards upon the floor, each one forming a complete deck. A crime scene painted blue by a sad sweep of cards. It's poetic, really. Incidentally, we used 2 types of cards at the club. One deck of cards was red, the other blue. As I recall, in poker you make 5-card hands. I can see how it would be easy to cheat. Yes, a game of hands. This competition you're talking about. I believe the court understands the nature of the game sufficiently. That's right. It was a simple game after all. Are you sure? Huh? People are not murdered over simple games, Mr. Justice. Defendant, you were in the room the very moment that the crime occurred. Yet you claim no connection to the crime. No, that's strange. What's strange? I was testifying about the competition that night. Asking me about the crime at this point is against the rules, Your Honor. Of course, I expected to hear a cry of objection from the defense. I completely let that one slip by. Don't despair yet, Justice. Sir? Right, there's something I'd like made clear, namely your connection to the case at hand, and I'd like to hear it from you. Sure, why not? Very well, the defendant will amend his testimony. Is Phoenix Wright just testing us? This is sus. Just one little press, and I've got myself a whole new testimony. I plead silence regarding the murder, but I will say I never touched the murder weapon. Really? Because, Objection! Your fingerprints are on it. So you say you didn't touch the murder weapon, this grape juice bottle? Wait, what if that's not actually the murder weapon? I mean, after all, Phoenix Wright never lies. Right? So I said, oh, he's not confirming nor denying. That's not the murder weapon. Oh! Because, look. See? That ain't the murder weapon. Something the matter, Mr. Justice? Too bad our new defense attorney never learned how to play dumb. What's this, Mr. Payne? I examined the bottle in question, you see. And it was covered with the defendant's fingerprints. Silence! Objection! What are we objecting to? No need to shout, Mr. Justice. I can hear you just fine. Excess yelling can damage the judge's ears and our case. But what about my cords of steel? Anyway, what's so strange about fingerprints on a bottle in a restaurant? Well, that's true. The prints alone don't prove it. Oh, they wouldn't prove a thing if they were normal fingerprints. Huh? But the fingerprints on the murder weapon were upside down. Now let me tell you something, because if he used a glass bottle to hit someone on the head, I feel like the glass bottle would go and shatter, you know? Upside down? What does that mean? It means he was holding the bottle inverted, and there can only be one reason for that. Not true. Not true. Because you know how you can like hold a soju bottle like that? Like whoosh whoosh? Yeah, see? There's many reasons. Yes. You brained someone with the bottle. Ah! Mr. Gavin, I think things just took a turn for the worse. Oh? I see no problem, Justice. Huh? The only thing that matters is the truth. There's a good reason for everything. You'll see. Defendant, can you explain your fingerprints on this bottle to the court? I stand by my plea of silence regarding the murder. For now. Bruh, you're not helping yourself. He's trying to train a new defense attorney. What is going on? Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case. I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some reason.
Objection!
Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten something. And what might that be, Mr. Gavin? On the night of the crime, who was it who reported the murder to the police? Reported? Well, that was the defendant, Mr. Wright. But still, that... But really? Yes, well, according to the case file, the murder was reported from near the scene by a call from the defendant's cell phone. Near the scene? Let's take a look at the diagram of the murder scene, shall we? Oh, he must have been here. Where the window is. The victim was murdered in a small room in a basement 2 floors down from ground level. Of course, cell phones can't get reception so far down, so that kind of proves that he couldn't have been there. The defendant used the stairs in this hallway to go above ground. Look at him, he's so hot. The call came from the first floor of the restaurant. I see. And this is the phone that made the call. Right, cell phone added to the court record. Used by the defendant to notify the police from the restaurant's first floor. Is that a Nokia? Hold on, let me see. Eh? Nani kore? Wow, the battery's being held in with a piece of tape. He should just buy a new one. Maybe he can't afford it, or he just doesn't care. Okay. The defendant could have just fled the scene of the crime if he so chose. Yet, he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported it to the authorities. And you claim he is being uncooperative? Nice save, Mr. Gavin. I'd better not waste this. I think the prosecution has toyed with our client enough for the time being. Toyed? I assure you no one is more serious about. What was it you said? The defendant was in the room the very moment the crime occurred. How can you possibly know this? That's a good question. How indeed? The answer is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has a decisive witness. You're as good as they say you are. Oh, it's the decisive witness is always the one who did it. So someone else was in the room the night of the crime. That must mean they witnessed the crime. Everything up till now has been a warm-up, Justice. Are you ready? Always. Very well. The prosecution may call its first witness to the stand. Oh, she's so cute! The witness will state her name and profession. Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness? I surmise that she's been frightened by the defense's demonic-looking horror. So I used a little hair gel. Relax, people. Have no fear. If any horns point in your direction, this court will cut them off. You are sure? I swear it on my gavel. Please, come out. Isn't violence against hair a crime, Your Honor? Oh, well, if you're sure it is okay. Ahem. Now the prosecution. Well, wait a minute. Would the prosecution care to explain the witness's, paraphernalia? Yes. She is a professional, Your Honor. Those are merely the tools of her trade. Okay. And that would be? My name is Olga Orley. Olga Orley. Olga Orley. Olga Orley. Olga Orley? Olga Orley. Oh, she's Russian. Okay. I am employed as a wait, Russian accent. I am employed as a waitress in Borscht the Ball Club restaurant. Yes, okay. Then, why the camera? Of course, it is my pride to serve borscht at his naming restaurant. Oh, yes. Yes, she definitely has a Russian accent. This fits with the words. Of course, it is my pride to serve borscht at his naming restaurant. But I also perform, how is it said, other service. I take it one of these other services is taking the customer's pictures. Da. Like for example, this one. Ooh. Look at him! Oh my gosh, I can't get over how hot he is. That's the defendant. Indeed, on the night of the murder. Man in white hat is the one who's gone kaput. Indeed, that is the victim. Order! This is quite a piece of evidence to casually drop into our laps. It really is. Like, that was crazy. It is the same way I drop cold bowls of borscht on lips of customers. Casually. Then the court will casually accept this new evidence. Olga's photo added to the court records. Let me look at it. Let me see. Bread. Soup. So many bottles right within reach. Russian nesting dolls. Some of that. Huh. I don't even see any poker going on. Now, witness! Where were you at the time of the murder? I was in the room. The hideout, we call it. Excuse me? The hideout? It is room where famous gangster bad guy... I can't! Bad guy was arrested. His room where murder took place. What? Your look of utter surprise. It is lovely. I will post my courtroom door later for you. Da. Photos will be numbered and you will write which ones you want copy of. So there were 3 people in the room at the time of the crime. Oh goodness. The victim, Shadi Smith, Mr. Wright, and Olga Orley, our witness. And if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means... Ho. Yes, it is her. She's Russian. She can kill anything. Very well, witness. You will testify to the court about that night's events. Witness testimony. Okay, I need some water. That fateful night. That night, customer asked me to deal cards for game. It was cold. Both players played with heads on. The victim, he plays whole time with his hands on locket at his neck. Eh? Eh? Then last hand is done, but something terrible has happened. Hold on. What locket at his neck? I see no locket at his neck. Locket. Ah! 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 That's Phoenix's necklace! That man flew at victim and is strangling him to death. Incidentally, who won the game? Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith. That's ridiculous. Because Mr. Right can't lose. Justice? Maybe you can come up with a more legitimate objection? But he hadn't lost in 7 years. Take it from me, kid. It happens. I didn't lose a case my first 7 years as prosecutor either. Yeah, and then Phoenix Wright whooped her ass. Incidentally, I have some evidence here. Okay. Ace, 777. Ace, king. No! This is fake. This is fake news, I tell you. I swear he didn't lose. Not my Phoenix Wright. No, he didn't lose. Someone arranged the cards for sure. This is all a setup. I mean, don't you remember in the other picture the cards were laying face down? This is a setup. The hand and the chips on this side belong to the defendant, Mr. Wright. Those on the far side belong to the victim, Mr. Smith. Chips, you say? I mean yes! I imagine that poker is war. Your hand is your army and the chips are the spoils. Ah, I know that. After all, in my youth I was known as the poker head of courtroom number 3. Eh? Poker head? I don't know that has anything to do with the game of poker, to be honest. I think he means poker face. Looking at this picture, it does seem like most of the chips are on the victim's side of the table. Chips photo added to the court record. Now this is really sus. Very well, the defense may cross-examine the witness. Okay. That night, wrong accent. That night, customer asked me to deal cards for a game. Okay, that's fine. It was cold. Both players played with hats on. Hold on. Hats, I see. Hats on, yes. Okay. The victim, he plays whole time with his hand on locket at his neck. Okay, I feel like... Actually, can we press on this? His locket. I believe it was good luck charmed. He gripped it many times as he played that night. Yes, he must have felt as though it might carry him to the moon and the stars. Though if it were small enough to fit around his neck, it wouldn't have much lift. The defense would like a clarification. This is a locket we're talking about? I mean a pendant with a picture in it, right? Not a rocket. Of course, I knew that. It was probably a pendant shaped like a rocket. That's why she called it that. No, a locket's a No, a locket's a locket. It doesn't matter what shape it is. It's considered bad form to poke fun at the hard of hearing in our society. Hard of hearing or hard of understanding? Yeah, we have a dumb judge. We learned that in the Phoenix Wright games. So, what happened next? Then, last hand is done, but something terrible has happened. Nah, fam. Because my friends, here's locket, yeah? But here, present.
Objection!
Bruh. No, they are related. Bruh. No! Okay, fine. Then last hand is done, but something terrible has happened. We're just gonna press everything. Something terrible. The defense will refrain from needless shouting. Sorry. I need to seriously reconsider this vocal training thing. Now, Miss Orley, can you tell us what happened? Oh, I was so frightened. I trembled with fear. That man flew at the victim and is strangling him to death. No. Yes.
Objection!
Oh, really? Strangled, you say? That's odd. Normal customers only choke on borscht. No, I mean, this report shows that the victim died of a blow to the head. Ah! Miss Orley, really now? Did you witness the crime? Is she gonna transform? Ooh! Looking at the picture, it doesn't seem like he was hit. He's still wearing his hat and everything. Yet, it is a fact that he was hit, Your Honor. Here's a photo we took of the victim with his hat off during our investigation. Well, that's quite shocking, isn't it? This head certainly was hit! Crime photo 2 added to the court record. But I have seen it happen. The defendant, he lunged at the victim, his neck. Oh, really, Miss Orley? I think I've caught you in your own lie this time. I don't know. She sounds so serious. I wonder if she mistook them. Maybe they were switch spots. Justice. I admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this through once more. What do you mean? I found a contradiction. There's one thing in her testimony that troubles me. Very well. It seems we should continue the cross-examination. There's such a thing as thinking too much. This horse is dead. Let's stop beating it. There's such a thing as thinking aloud too much, too. That night, customer asked you to deal cards for the game. Hold on now. You were dealing cards. Do you do this often? I am doing this. If customer wishes it, I serve anything. Borscht, cards, more borscht. It is my work. It's good to hear a place that hasn't forgotten the meaning of service. Welcome you to Borscht Ball Club, where borscht is as warm as the waitresses. Borscht is cold. Didn't she say she served cold borscht? Thank you for not handing out flyers during the cross-examination. It was cold. Both players played with hats on. Why was it cold? It's already April. How could it be cold? What do you mean? April can be cold. At Borscht Ball Club, we have pride on authentic rustic Russian restaurant theme. Outside it is city in spring, but inside it is always as cold as Mother Russia. No way am I going there. When it comes to hot borscht, cold is best seasoning, da. Ah, fair point. The victim, he plays whole time with his hand on locket at his neck.
Hold it!
Oh wait, I've already... Skip. The last stand is done, but something terrible has happened. After the defendant tried to strangle victim, he hit him with a bottle. Why?
Hold it!
You didn't say anything about hitting before. So sorry. I must be forgetting this, duh. Witness! You will take greater care with your testimony. Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. And that clears up the discrepancy with the autopsy report, I believe. The defendant made to strangle his victim, then changed his mind, and chose a simpler, blunter means to do the job. Yes, that sums it up nicely. So he strangled him, then hit him? Something's fishy about all this. Go ahead, I believe you know what it is you need to do. Right, sir! Leave it to me! There were only 3 people in the room at the time of the murder. The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright, and if Mr. Wright isn't the killer. I've got you now, Orly. Okay, hold on. Let me... Okay. Ooh. Okay. It was cold. Both players played with heads on. Duh. The victim, he plays whole time with his hand on locket at his neck. Then last hand is done, but something terrible has happened. Last hand is done. What could it be? After the defendant tried to strangle victim, he hit him with bottle. I feel like it's this, but maybe let's try this one.
Objection!
Oh. Damn it. Ugh. I must be on the wrong track. What could it be? Which is fine, that seems fine. I still think this one is sus. Because you see, there's no locket here either.
Objection!
You know, there was one curious part in her testimony, just like Mr. Gavin said. But what does it mean? Mr. Justice, would you care to explain what it is you're thinking so intensely about? Recall the testimony, Your Honor. The victim played with his hand on his locket at his neck, I believe she said. I hope you aren't about to raise an objection to the witness's grammar. No, but look at this photograph. Do you see a locket on the victim's neck? Dun dun dun! Well done, Justice. I'm impressed. I knew you'd be able to handle this. But what does it mean? If we are to believe this witness's testimony as is, then the locket disappeared following the victim. You literally saw Phoenix Wright wearing it in court today! Huh? Lockets don't just disappear, Your Honor. It's quite simple when you think about it. If the locket is gone, someone must have taken it off now. Taken it off? Wait. Taking it off? Wait, you don't mean... The defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all. He was taking off his locket. Wouldn't that explain it? Ah. Defendant, what do you have to say to this? He's literally wearing it. Say. Yes. I just noticed this, but... You have something hanging around your neck, don't you? Oh, you mean this? Yes, it's a locket with a photograph inside. A photo of my daughter. You have a daughter? I want to see his daughter! Mr. Wright, you have a daughter? We confirmed it at the time of the arrest. The picture of the locket is indeed Mr. Wright's daughter. But it's definitely the same locket, so why would that guy have it? So Mr. Wright has a locket too? Why don't I buy that this is just a coincidence? Well now, if the results of this poker game led to the murder, perhaps we should hear a bit more about the outcome of the game. Further testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear the defendant lost badly. Oh? Miss Orley, you will testify to the court about the game played between the victim and the defendant. Da-da. Yes, please. I love doing the Russian accent. Serious competition. The game began... Wait, I forgot how to do the Russian accent. Okay, there we go. The game began with 3,500 points in chips for each man. House chips come in two sizes, small and large. The one who was winning, it was victim. For last hand, the defendant played with all chips on table and lose. The moment the loss was decided, defendant grabs bottle from table and... Oi, hold on now. Hold on now. What happened to choking him first, huh? Why are you changing your testimony? Indeed, looking at this picture, it does seem to be a one-sided game. As the court knows, poker was the defendant's life. Failure must have been a bitter pill to swallow. How many times have I heard these words? I've done it in a fit of anger, Your Honor, and now I regret it. A common tale, but true. Methinks the judge watches too many old court movies. Mr. Wright said he hadn't lost in 7 years, so this testimony must be wrong. Okay, first of all, I agree with you that he probably didn't lose, but also, what is your logic? Just because he hasn't lost in 7 years, he can't lose now? Come on. Oh, I know what to cross-examine you on. The game began with 3,500 points in. That looks fine. House chips come in two sizes, small and large. Which I see, small and large, which is good. Fine. I have no issues. The one who was winning, duh, it was victim. For last hand, the defendant play with all chips on table and lose. The moment the loss was decided, defendant grabs boulder from table and what happened next? Even to think of it now, I shake and tremble. Duh. I did not believe such thing would happen. What such thing? Please, you must believe. I had no idea. How could such thing occur? What such thing? Niet. The defendant had been hitting victim. Duh, I saw it all happen right before me. I saw bottle coming down on victim's head. Decisive. Decisive, isn't it, Your Honor? My witness saw the very moment of the crime. Remember, your first goal is to gather information. Yes, sir! Look out, contradiction. Here comes justice. Sure. Are those the usual starting points? Were any special rules used? No, not special. Usual game, usual rules. If each man began with 3,500 points, then the total would be, exactly 7,000 points. Please, this isn't calculus, it's not even long division. Hill's chips come in two sizes, small and large. Are the chips in this photo all the chips that were used? Duh, of course. Something's fishy with these chips. Should I press harder? Yes. Maybe you could explain a bit about these chips. Explain? What is there to be explained? Poker chips are poker chips! They're not fish and chips! Not a chip of the old block! Not a motorcycle cop! Not a... Thanks. Now that I've pressed her, I'd better ask something. What are these chips worth? Are they in dollars or rubles even? Niet. As I have been saying before, it was a game, not gambling. Hard, perhaps, for capitalists to understand. Two types of chip. 100-point chip and 1,000-point chip. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me do some calculations real quick, okay? Let me see this, okay? 1,000-point chips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10,000-point chips. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600-point chips. So that becomes 10,600 points altogether. Okay. It is not money, duh. Justice? Sir! Don't you find her comment interesting? In more ways than one, sir. I'd have it added to her testimony myself. Well, does the defense want the witness to add to her testimony? Yes, I do think this deserves further scrutiny. Add it to the testimony. I wish I knew where I was going with this. Very well, witness, if you would be so kind. Duh, Your Honor. One kind of chip is worth 100. Other kind is worth 1,000. Two kinds in all. The one who was winning, duh, it was victim. Oh, hold on, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, I should present evidence. Hold on. Because if you look at this...
Objection!
You're sure it was the victim who won? Absolutely sure. It seems our new attorney is a bit confused. glance at the picture is enough to tell you who won, if you're not in kindergarten. Just for safety's sake, could you explain the problem to the court? Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, I see small chips and I see large chips. Tell me, which were worth 1,000 points? Shoot, I assumed it was the large chips. Shoot. No, this makes a lot more sense. Hold on. Because if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6,000, yeah? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Which 10 times 100 is 1,000. Which would make 7,000. Oh my gosh, that makes it all line up. Oh, I'm so stupid. Wait, then who's winning? This is 4,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 900. Oh my god, Phoenix Wright was winning! Tell me, which were worth 1,000 points? Why, the big ones, of course. Duh! Oh, I thought so too. But then the totals don't add up. The totals? Yeah. Let's review what the witness told us. Each man started with 3,500 points in chips, and the combined total value of the chips was 7,000 points. Yes, if my calculations are correct. Let's say 3 plus 1, carry the 5. They are, Your Honor. Now, look at this photo that allegedly shows all the chips. If the big chips are worth 1,000 points and the small chips are worth 100, and you add them up, how much is it? Do it yourself. You aren't in kindergarten. 10,600 points. The chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness's testimony. But why? How could this be? Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why. Right, there's only one possible way to explain this contradiction. Each man began the game with 3,500 points. If all the chips are indeed shown in this photograph, then there can only be one answer. Well, what is it? The value of the chips was the other way around. What? Want to know what I think? The small chips were worth 1,000 points, not the big ones. Madness! Utter madness! Show me that photograph of the chips again. Oh, he's gonna do basic math. Please don't. There are 6 small chips and 10 large chips. Why, that does make 7,000 points when you add them up. Excellent work, Justice. It's almost as though you figured it out by yourself. I did! Well, I'm just glad I was the one who said it. But wait! The value of the chips may be different, but that changes nothing. Indeed, the victim did have the larger number of chips still. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Oh god, dumb people. Ugh. Exactly. If the small chips are 1,000 points and the large chips are 100, let's do a little math. Add up the points for each side of the table. The victim, Mr. Smith, had 2,900 points. And the defendant had 4,100 points. Well now, it seems that Mr. Right was winning that night after all. That's impossible! My client had even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning! Now, Miss Orley, you must have known the true value of the chips, since you were there at the scene of the crime, weren't you? I want to see her transformation. Come on, let me see it. Let me see your evil mode. Order! Order! It appears our defendant has lost his motive, and Mr. Wright's supposed defeat never happened. We must now ask ourselves whether we can trust... Excuse me, what is it, Miss Orley? I did not want to be saying this, but actually, you see, Say what, Miss Orley? What do we say? In the last hand, there was cheat. Cheat? You don't mean a trick? Wait, or do you mean a scam? They're all the same thing. Yes, there was cheat in last hand. That is why game ends with chips as they are. But he won the last hand, huh? Great, just great. First we have lying, now cheating. Well, this case certainly has taken a turn for the interesting. Witness, you will please testify to the court. Tell us about this cheating in the final hand. The last hand, both men had full house. There is 4 of each card in deck, from ace to king. If you looked at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious. The next moment, the game becomes argument. The defendant's trick was exposed. Eh? There is cheat. I do not see cheat. I don't see cheat at all. What? He took bottle in his hand. Poor Mr. Smith. Hold on now. Miss Orley, why did you not tell the court about this from the very beginning? I thought I smelled a cover up here. Well, folks, it's time to throw back the covers. A full house is a very high-scoring hand. Not easy to make in my experience. That alone is enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics, but they both had it. Mr. Gavin? What's a full house? Lawyers these days, you don't know your poker. I can't say this bodes well for your case or career. What is this, some kind of secret court poker ring? Justice. You know the term 1 pair, 2 pair, and 3 of a kind, yes? Yeah, no problem. 2 cards with the same number makes a pair, and 3 makes 3 of a kind. Good. Now picture a hand with 1 pair and 1 3 of a kind. That's a full house. Huh. That doesn't sound very easy to make, does it? You can see each player's hand in this photo. Wow, they both have full houses. We forget, there's an easy way to make a full house and go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat. Oh. Okay. The defense may cross-examine the witness. If he did cheat in the last hand, that still leaves one important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand. Who's ever heard a professional con man losing when they cheat? Yeah, exactly. What? The last hand, both men had full house. Good, fine. There is 4 of each card in deck, from ace to king.
Hold it!
4 of each card, you say? Da! There's 1 spade, 1 diamond, 1 heart, and 1 club for each card. It is interesting fact that the number 4 comes from the number of seasons. Huh, you don't say. Ah, and did you know that the cards are numbered 1 to 13? Add all the cards in a deck and you get 364 a year. Huh? Huh? Huh, you don't say. Isn't that 1 day short? Also incorrect. There are 52 cards in a deck. That's why each deck has 2 jokers. They say the second joker stands for the leap year. Huh? Thus, you have a perfect representation of the year, all in a deck of cards. Huh? Ah, you don't say. We're going to be in this courtroom for a year if it keeps going like this. If you look at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious. Can you explain that? How was it clear? Well, the defendant, he played a 5th ace. A 5th ace? I still remember both hands very well. Mr. Smith's hand is 3 aces. And Mr. Wright's 2. Obviously, cheating was afoot, or perhaps I should say, a hand. Your Honor, perhaps this can be added to the testimony without Mr. Payne's joke. Very well, the witness will add this detail to her testimony, please. Mr. Smith's hand had 3 aces and Mr. Wright's 2. It is 5 aces in all. There's gotta be evidence. Yeah, I only see 2 aces here. Present that.
Objection!
It appears the witness is mistaken. Mistaken, but my name... Look, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony. That's the photo of the chips, is it not? Justice? Perhaps you ought to explain your point in a way that the judge can comprehend. In other words, use your finger to point out your point. Yes, please point out the contradiction in this photo. What particular point contradicts the witnesses? Why, it's here, of course. It's where? Where is that you're pointing? Where, Good question. We've already heard today on the dangers of bluffing. Sorry, Your Honor. I think you'd best point out your point again. What particular point contradicts the witness's testimony? Maybe there?
Take that!
Miss Orley, in your testimony you made the following claim. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. But as you can clearly see, the victim's hand only held 2 aces. Well, maybe the witness was simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the 3rd ace in question. Take another look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant also had 2 aces in his hand. Also, aren't we playing with 2 decks? Where's this 5th ace? I see cheating, alright, and it's going on right here in this courtroom. Alright, Borscht lady, transform! 2 aces in each player's hand does make 4 aces total. Hardly proof of cheating. Wait, please! It is true, I have seen it, the 5th ace. There was cheating, I swear to you. That's odd. She must be lying, yet she's the most sincere I've seen her all day. You're right to trust your instincts. Mr. Gavin. Who knows what lies in store for us in the trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion. What might that be, Mr. Gavin? If you don't mind, perhaps we might examine the actual cards. The cards? Mr. Payne. Yes! The player's hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court. Very well, the prosecution will submit this evidence. Which will you examine? The victim's cards or the defendant's cards? If these cards don't prove cheating was going on, nothing will. Now, which of these hands is more suspicious? I think the victim's hand is more suspicious. It was the victim's hand that changed over the course of the witness's testimony. The defense requests time to examine Mr. Smith's cards. Very well. Mr. Payne, if you would. Very well. Received evidence. Victim's hands. Well, time's a wasting. Get to it, Justice. Yes, sir! When examining evidence, be sure to view it from all sides and angles. Try using up, left, down, right to turn it every which way, and B and M to zoom in and out. I have a mouse. That should give you a better perspective on the case. Okay, let's do this. Whoa. What? Your Honor, look at this. One of the victim's cards. The back is a different color. That's impossible. But I put that card in right hand. Ack! Ahaha. What was that, Miss Orley? No, niet. I merely said that, I have ick. Your Honor? Mr. Gavin, yes. Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker? To cheat? I'll tell you. One merely needs a friend. A comrade, shall we say. The dealer. Wait, so you mean... This witness, Miss Orley. She's the cheater. A professional, I'd wager. Come on, transform! Transform! Order! Order! Focus, Justice. Time to take advantage of her. I mean, of her mistake. Your Honor. Please recall the testimony we just heard. That's impossible. But I put the card in the right hand. Ergo, Miss Olga Orley conspired to cheat. Not with my client, but with the victim, Mr. Shady Smith. I think we should just call him Shady, Mr. Shady Smith. Oh! Not only did she cheat, she cheated poorly. Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim. What? Wait, you don't mean... The defense isn't accusing the witness, Miss Olga Orley, are you? Time for justice. There were 3 people in the room at the time of the incident. And if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means... I am? I am. The defense accuses witness, Miss Olga Orley, of murder. Borscht. Mr. Payne, where is your witness, Miss Olga Orley? It appears she has lost, consciousness, Your Honor. Mr. Justice? Your Honor, it seems you've presented a new possibility to the court. One suggesting a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith. And that means this court cannot pronounce a verdict for the defendant at this time. What? I did it! I held out! I see no point in prolonging the trial this day. The prosecution will need to make further inquiries.
Objection!
Eh? Ah! Mr. Wright? You can't end the trial here, Your Honor. Not yet.
What nonsense is the defendant spewing now?
Think. One of the cards has a different colored back. Don't you wonder what it means?
What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raising objections right when you're about to get off the hook? Ridiculous!
Mr. Payne, you of all people should know, Mr. Wright has a talent for the ridiculous. Perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear up the facts about the game that fateful night. I love him. As was said before, we alternated between 2 decks of cards that night. See, I told you!
That was said before!
The 2 decks at the club have different colored backs, blue and red. 1 color per deck. Why use different colored backs? If we use the same color, the 2 decks might get mixed. You used different colors and they still got mixed up. We used the red deck for the last game. I see, but that's odd. For some reason, I have this impression that you were using the blue cards. Yeah, me too. I'm sure someone said something about blue cards.
Whatever. In the end, 1 card of the wrong color got into the mix, which means there was cheating.
Yes, a card slipped into the deck would seem to indicate cheating. Yet, this card raises 2 serious questions. Apollo? Yes! Let's consider the first question, shall we? Think. In the last game, when was the card swapped? When? There are 3 broad possibilities here. It could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder.
Well, yeah. Thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course it was
Oh? It might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne, or it might not be. I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped? Oh god. When was the card swapped into the deck? I think after. Because let me see this. Because Olga was like, she saw 3 aces, right? I'm gonna go with after. Perhaps it happened after the murder.
Well, what's that? Ridiculous! What's the point of cheating after the hands have been shown? That's silly.
Yes, but tell me, how do you swap cards during the game? I'll take silly over impossible.
Take it from me, son. There's a lot of silly in this world, but very little impossible.
Oh, even when the backs of the cards are a different color? If you pulled that during the game, you'd be caught in no time. Ah, quite true. That would mean that the blue card in question was swapped after the hands were shown, after the murder.
Okay, this is going past silly and straight on to crazy. I ask again, what's the point of cheating after the game's over? Who would do that?
Who indeed? That's one of the mysteries before us. That there's another? Yes, a simple yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card? Who? The game and murder is done. The victim is dead. Only 2 remain in the room, alive that is. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and our witness, Olga Orley. Okay, so who was it that swapped the red card for a blue? Okay, let's think about this. What reason does Olga have to swap it? That would mean... Oh, so if Phoenix Wright did it, that would mean he wanted to make it so it looked like Shady Smith won. Or... he swapped it out with his own ace? Or... hold on. Olga could have done it, but what does she gain? To make him cheat, to make him win, then she has a grudge against Phoenix? I'm not sure, but how could it be anyone else? I do believe it is Phoenix. The one who swapped the cards was Mr. Wright. It was you, wasn't it? And why would I do such a thing? Well, because, maybe you were trying to hide the fact that you cheated? That would make sense, but the swapped card was in the victim's hand. Oh. Sorry, I'm a nice guy, but I'm not that nice. Come to think of it, he would lack a motive for helping his opponent win. Okay, so I guess it must have been Olga. Why, it must have been Olga Orley who swapped the cards. She was trying to cover up evidence of the cheating. That doesn't make some sense. Sorry, but there's a problem with that explanation. Huh? The swapped card was from the wrong deck. Yes, a blue card was stuck into the red hand. Mixing a card from the wrong deck when the backs are different colors. Remember that you're talking about Olga Orley. She was the dealer. Do you really think she would make such a novice mistake? Actually, I have trouble imagining even the judge making that mistake. Give it a little more thought, Apollo. Right. So I guess it was someone else. The one who swapped the cards wasn't Mr. Wright, of course. And, well, it doesn't seem like it could have been Olga Orley either. Oh, what are you suggesting? Well, that's hardly a logical conclusion, I'll admit. As the defense, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss Orley at this point. Yes, I know. But she was the one who dealt the cards, right? I just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong color card. And if the card was swapped during the game, it'd be obvious. Something you'd like to share with the court, Mr. Wright? Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking how much fun all this is.
Fun? How about confusing? I've no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. If the one who swapped the card wasn't the defendant and it wasn't Miss Orley, then who was it? Yeah, well, that is the question, isn't it? Precisely. Huh? I believe we're about to see this case take a new direction. A new direction? We'll find that, indeed, after the murder. Someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand, and that someone made two critical mistakes. I'm sure you're going to tell us that the first was swapping the wrong color card. Because the one who did the swap didn't know two colors of cards were being used. The other mistake was the number on the card. Right. The person replaced the fifth ace with a king. I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a fifth ace after all. All they knew was that the game had been won with a full house. So they picked up a king from the table and swapped it in. But there's one problem. According to our case record, this person doesn't exist. True, not until now. But you have to admit the possibility of a fourth person. No, it's more than a possibility. There was someone else there that night at the scene of the crime. Well, what?
I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials ridiculous, Mr. Wright. This trial has proceeded on one central assumption, namely that at the time of the incident there were only 3 people in that room. I believe this new evidence, shall we say, overturns that assumption. The problem is that you chose to conceal this information from the court. I suppose that is a problem, yes. Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess. Certainly, Your Honor. Very well, the trial will resume in 20 minutes. That's it? That's all we get? April 20th, 11:52 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. That was quite unexpected, Mr. Wright. To suddenly claim there was another person at the scene of the crime like that. I must ask, is it the truth? Well, now, I think you would know the answer to that. Ah, being mysterious, are we? Sadly, I've no time for mysteries. I'd only ask that you leave the defending to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. I see you haven't mellowed out one bit, Christoph. Justice? Yes, sir! The judge has summoned me to his chambers, so carry on without me. What's he gonna do in the judge's chambers? You did well, Apollo. Can I ask you something? Sure. That locket you wear, is that really yours, Mr. Wright? Ah, you're wondering about the victim's disappearing locket. Here, you can take a look at it. That's a picture of my daughter in there. I would love to see his daughter. Oh, it's her! I'm just surprised to hear you had a daughter. Most people are. Perhaps you'll meet her one of these days. One more question. The one who cheated that night, was it you? What do you think? Huh? You know what happened 7 years ago, what I did. It's not unreasonable for you to think I might cheat. Wait, what did he do? I never, honest, but it is odd that he managed to go undefeated for 7 whole years. Want to know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker. That's right, because you can bluff. Eh? You see, poker is all about reading your opponent. And that way, it's a lot like a court case. Poker is like trial law. Figure out what your opponent is thinking, and you win. Well, yeah, but that's harder than it sounds. I think not. Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end. Their body language can become a valuable source of information. You're kidding! That witness, for instance, Miss Orley. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice? I didn't notice. Oh my god, I didn't notice. No? Come on, who'd notice that? I didn't? Oh, shoot. Words, habits, twitches. It's all information for the reading. That's the secret to winning, Apollo. Someone taught me, and now I pass the secret on to you. But I'm not worthy. I mean, there's no way I'll pick up on these signals. No, you can do it. Huh? You just don't know it yet. What's he talking about? But you will, soon. Ah, almost forgot. One more thing. About this case. You should know, I haven't told the truth to anyone yet. What? I knew it! I have my reasons, of course. All shall be revealed. And Apollo, I need you to be there, defending me. I need your power. My, power? I had no idea my cords of steel were that special. It's time. The real trial begins now. Do your best.